Why, hello everyone. I'm your lovely host, Innocent, and welcome to today's video. So, today's video is going to be a bit weird. So, I'm a human. I have doubts. I have worries. Normal human things. I know that doesn't sound very normal to say, but I just trust me. And it's hard to put. I have really begun to hate how my art looks. This is a commission that I did for Cherry7 Heart over on Twitch, and I'm really proud of it. I really like how the amphros came out. I really like how the dress floops and the hair swooshes, and I really like the details that I put on the face, but I'm just not liking how my art is turning out anymore. And that's normal to have happen, because you start noticing all of the little icky things that you don't like about your art, and you want to improve on it. So speaking of which, this is another commission I'm doing. It's not done yet, as you can see. I've only shaded this area. But, I'm really liking how I shaded his face here, but I really hate how I shaded the hair. And I'm having a really weird dilemma where my style isn't reflecting what I want to see in art anymore. And it used to be that I wanted everything to look really three-dimensional and round and nice and pretty and shiny. And now my shading is getting way too dark. And I really don't like how my shading is. Sure, it looks three-dimensional like I want it to, but at the same time, I don't like it. And I know that there's going to be... everybody has this problem, and this is why art critique is a thing. Don't get me wrong, I love how this Pokeball turned out. It looks round and nice and like an actual ball, but I hate how the face turned out. The eyes are too big for the irises and pupils in them. This eye is good, but this one's way too elongated. It needs to be shrunk, and I'm only noticing this now rather than when I first gave it to Cherry, and I'm fretting over it because it's not how I want to give my clients their artwork when I'm not even happy with it. Of course, this is well after the fact that I already gave it to him, but at the same time, I'm just speaking of faces, just ignore that. This face I think is cute. I'm terrible at drawing beards, but I think this face is cute. It's not overly shaded. The eyes aren't open, so a plus in my department. And it's very sweet and charming, and not a lot of things are going on. And that's what I like. But going back to this one, I have him facing and downcasting, so there's also the hat looming over his face and everything, and there's a lot going on. But at the same time, I really like how I shaded this. It's very colorful, it's very bright, there's sparkly, and this is what I love. And I love drawing cute girls, so don't get me wrong, but just something isn't right anymore. So I decided yesterday to literally flip my style on its head, pick apart what I hate about it, and find the things that I want to include in a style of mine. And I think that most people should do this, especially if you're trying to find a style. You need to draw, and you need to find what you don't like in art. I don't like very high contrast. This is very high contrast, and I would rather have much lower contrast. Not no contrast, of course, but much lower. For the Amphros skin, the yellow, I like this type of contrast. But on Cherry, the underskirt is, of course, a dark brown, but it looks really bad in comparison to the yellow. And the back here is way too dark in comparison to the front. And what are even these legs? I don't know what I was doing. I am so sorry, Cherry. But when it comes to shading, this was my main part, and eyes in general and faces in general, I wanted to rework how I do that, because I don't like it. I thought this was the shit when I first drew it. Like, oh my god, I actually drew like this kind of angle. I never draw angles like this. Oh my god. But looking back on it now, it looks terrible. So why am I praising it? So anyway, yeah, I'm not liking how this looks. Like, it looks good. It does look good, but it's not what I want. Okay, it doesn't look good. I'm judgmental of myself. What I would want more out of this is less rounded shading, less hard contrast, and more soft. So I did this. This is my first attempt, and this was my second attempt. I literally threw my style on its head. I went for a more realistic looking type of face rather than what I was doing before, which didn't look completely realistic. It's very this is more like you can see that these are cheeks and it turns into a chin and then a jaw, you know. The ears, I'm struggling with the ears. Don't mind me, I don't like ears. Which is why I mostly cover them up. I cover up my own ears well. So this was the first attempt. I of course drew innocent because that's what I do when I'm trying to figure out life. And it's very minimalistic. The skin has the most shading to it, but that's just to give it like life. So the skin has a lot of layers of red and pink, and I didn't like how this turned out, so I changed it in this one. That's what you do. But it's a lot of layers of pink and red and a bit of like orange. Like in this one, you can see that there's a lot of red around the nose, and this is a flat part and a rounded part, and just general everything. I didn't do what I did on the eyes on that one. Huh, I didn't notice that. Oh, so I'm really liking how this is turning out. This is just, I've only tested it twice now. And it's these two. These two. That's it. That's it. That's all you're getting. But I'm really liking how it's turning out. And I changed my eye style yet again. I change it constantly. Don't mind me. It's because I'm never happy. But I wanted something more... I like large eyes. Don't get me wrong. I like large eyes. But I wanted them more based in reality, if that makes sense. So with these, they are very large, but they fit on the face. Does that make sense? They're proportional. Like, these ones are not proportional. They're way too big. These ones are proportional, but that's because I worked really hard on this one. These ones are more proportional in a sense that it's proportional to the style. And yeah, I really like the shading that I've done. It's very soft, very like airbrushed. And then it's very like the hair is not as detailed as say this. Like, don't get me wrong, I love detailed hair, but this is just simple and I like it. And it's a lot of shading on the undersides, a little swoop here and there, like just showing that this is like raised up, but it doesn't get dark. And I like how I shaded the eyes. I wanted to give a like weird sense of liveliness to them without putting too much detail in it. So there are a lot of different colors. And the pupils aren't black because I didn't want much black. This is the closest shade to black and it's not even black. So, you know. And it's good to change up what you're doing once in a while. And changing your style completely sometimes helps because you find out what you really hate about what you were doing before. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like how this turned out. It's just, I want something different. And I couldn't get what I wanted with this. So flipping it on its head, I decided I want more soft, more simple. I wanted something that I could do quicker. This whole thing took me 3 days. These two things took me a span of, well, I was figuring out what I wanted in those spans of hours, but two of them took me about 3 hours. And that's because I wanted something more simplistic. It was just, the majority of the 3 hours was just me trying to figure out what I wanted and actually drawing it out, because this is a lot different from what I'm usually doing. And you know what? That's good. I think that's good. And I think I took inspiration from somewhere about something, because this is starting to look familiar, but I can't pinpoint it. I probably saw art kind of like this somewhere on the internet, probably Twitter, and I'm just remembering that I really like it. I like chubby cheeks. I like this type of nose. And I don't know. I also think it's good to steal from other artists. Not blatantly rip off and trace and everything, but if you like something, try mimicking it in your own style and incorporating it into what you do. Like, don't get me wrong, the shading style that I'm going for is very reminiscent of somebody that I really love to watch on YouTube, which is Huana Natsu. I think that's how you pronounce her name. But I really like how she shades her, like, chibis and, like, art pieces. They're really nice and soft, and she uses a lot of color, and they look really lively and bright and happy. And I wanted that. I really did. And it's not the same. It's mostly just reminiscent of how I don't know, they would do it. It's very reminiscent of that. Not exact, of course, but I have to play with it more. And then I'll fine tune of what I want, and I'll figure out how I want to draw in this type of thing. Like, this one is very, very flat. This one I added a little bit more roundness, so you can see that her cheek is kind of like shaded, and the nose is shaded, and that's flat on top. And these, you can see that the hair is pulled off from her head, and it's not a flat, one-dimensional thing. You know? Am I just being crazy? Probably. But here we are. I'm trying my best. And I think that's all that counts. I'm still debating on trying to add, like, hair shines to the hair, but at the same time, I don't know. I might play around with that a bit. Leave your thoughts in the comments of what you think, how this is going so far, if this is actually going towards what I was considering soft, or softer than like this. So, let me know what you think about it. If you have any tips and tricks or any other critiques, let me know, please. Because, as much as I love giving informational videos to people and trying to help people, I kind of need a little bit of help too. I'm only human and I'm doing this all by myself, and I'm learning all by myself, and I want help. This is a cry for help. Anyway, thank you for watching, I guess. I hope this was somewhat enjoyable. It was mostly a life update, but hey, it's something. So, yeah.
We never speak of that. Anyway, if you liked what you just watched, feel free to click or tap here and it will take you to the latest video on my channel. Or you can let the YouTube algorithms choose a video it thinks you'll like. Magic! And of course, you can click or tap over here to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Come join the cult! We're always open to new members. Anywho, I hope to see you all soon. Peace out. Bye-bye!